Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Holly. Today I have a highly requested video. It is going to be all about Foxyfix Traveler's Notebooks. So I am going to be sharing my Foxyfix collection at the end of the video since I know a lot of you guys wanted to see that. But first up, I am going to do just a overview and kind of intro to Foxyfix. I have been shopping with them for a while and went in very hard, as you will see in the collection part of this video, and got a lot. So I've definitely tried out some different sizes, and I know a lot of you guys wanted to see like size comparisons on camera. You thought that would be helpful, so I'm going to show you some size comparisons. I'm going to show you some different leather colors and just kind of talk about the ordering process for Foxyfixes. Before we dive in, I will just say Foxyfix is only one type of traveler's notebook. I know there are lots of other types of traveler's notebooks out there. Different companies make different ones. I just personally have been very loyal to Foxyfix. I think they have really good reputation for quality. They have excellent customer service, and honestly, they have like gorgeous colors and gorgeous leathers. So I definitely have had a positive experience with them. So let's go ahead and dive in. So first up, I just want to talk a little bit about when I talk about like ordering your own custom Foxyfix, what I'm referring to. I am referring to a Foxyfix couture is how it'll be listed on the website. So couture means that it will be either wide or compact, which refers to the width of the spine, and it will have multiple elastics. So you can get what is called a single notebook, but that will only have one elastic down the middle that you can use for inserts. And singles are totally cool if that's like, if you only need like 1 to 3 inserts, because you can use a jump band to get up to 3 inserts in a single. They're a little bit more narrow, so they're really streamlined and easy to carry around with you. But for me personally, I do not like the singles because they don't have pockets and they don't hold as many inserts. So I have pretty much only gotten the couture notebooks because that is my personal preference. But the thing with the couture notebooks is that it does come with a weight because these are custom made and you can get all sorts of different combinations. They are made to order, and these are, you know, handmade leather goods in the United States. So they do take a bit of time to get to you. As of the time of filming this video, their wait time, I've noticed their shipping time has been decreasing quite a bit, but they do still list it at 15 to 30 days from your order date. But I have seen them going out faster as of right now, but that can always change whenever they release like a new color or a new style. There's always a big surge in like orders, and it might take a little bit, but I think these are totally worth it. A lot of these I think of as like almost like heirloom pieces because they are leather and handmade. They're made to last, and they're something that it's not gonna really, in my opinion, not really gonna go out of style. It might go out of planner style, but it's never gonna, like, you know, it's not just some metallic spiral notebook. You know, these are classic pieces that will stand the test of time and I think are really gorgeous. So let's go ahead then and dive into like how you build a couture. So when you build a couture, you select several different things. You select the width of the spine, which refers to either compact or wide. And so this particular one is a compact one, which compact spines are about 1 inch thick, and compact now comes with 4 elastics inside. So they have 4 elastics that you can use to put your inserts in. And the way the inserts work is they just wrap right around this elastic, as you'll see in some others. So that is a current compact spine. The current wide spines actually have 6 elastics on the inside. So they're about 1.5 inches thick, no matter the size of notebook that you get on the, you know, the width and vertical. They're about 1.5 inches thick on the spine, and then they come with 6 elastics on the inside. So you'll see 6. However, it was not always this way. A lot of my notebooks are older, wide notebooks, so that means that they had a 1.5 inch spine, but they actually only have 4 elastics on the inside. So an example of that is this one. This has, as you can see, just 2 little notches there, whereas this has 3, but it is actually the same width in terms of the spine width. But there are only 4 elastics on the inside. That is how Foxyfix used to make those. So if you find those on buy-sell trade boards or something, know that they are totally legit. It's just the fact that that is an older style. But anything that you buy now directly from Foxyfix will have the total of 6 strands. So that's the first thing you pick. You pick the width. The next thing that you pick is, do you want pockets or not? So there are several different types of pockets. So you have, these are 2 different types of pockets you can see right in here. And depending on the size can change the actual configuration of the pockets. So I will show you what I mean. This is a number 4 size, which is a personal size. We'll go through the sizes later. And this has horizontal pockets. As you can see, there are only 2 horizontal card slots as well as 1 larger one there. However, this is a number 7 size, which is a bigger size, and that has horizontal pockets, but it actually has 3 pockets. So it just really depends on which size you're getting. And for the horizontal pockets, you can actually only get those on the left side. So any pockets you get on the right side does have to be what is called this secretarial style, which is this curved style. So you have only one option for the right side pocket, but the left side, you can either get this horizontal pocket configuration, or you can get a secretarial pocket like here. If you get a size number 3 or lower, again, we'll go through the sizes later, but if you get a size number 3 or lower, you have to get secretarial on the left. They don't let you do horizontal because they're too small. So you have to get, if you want a pocket in a size number 3 or lower, you have to get this secretarial. And then you can have the choice for your secretarial pockets. You can always have the choice of whether you want this front pocket or not. And you can pick front pocket on and they call that a card pocket. You can do that on the left or the right. And then the pen loop is only an option on the right pocket. I used to always get a pen loop on my Foxys, but I'm going to stop doing that. I've noticed it kind of affects the way your inserts lie. If you can see here, it's kind of like pushing up against my inserts. And honestly, most of the pens that I use are thicker. Like I use ones that have like a grippy on them, and they actually don't fit that well in the pen loop. So I'm going to just stop getting the pen loop. But if you do want a pen loop, you look for it as part of your pocket choices. It's not actually a separate option. But here is one that does not have that horizontal card pocket. I just didn't get it on this one because I wasn't sure I needed it. And that is just an option you can decide. Some people don't like them because they add bulk. I personally always get pockets on my Foxys unless it's something I'm buying off the buy sell trade board and I can't choose my pockets. But I pretty much always get pockets on my Foxys because I tend to like leathers that are a little bit softer, and I think the pockets actually add a lot of structure. So if you're getting a softer leather, like one that is a little bit more floppy, or like maybe it like would flop open a little bit more, if you get pockets, it adds a lot of structure. But some people really don't like them because they add bulk and they can like leave imprints on your inside pockets or your outside pockets. I personally haven't had trouble with that at all, but I know that that is something that some people get concerned about. So it's really just a personal preference. If you do decide to get one without pockets, I have this one that is from the buy sell trades that do not have pockets. You can easily, and I'll probably do that with this one, I haven't set it up yet, but you can easily put in just some transparent pockets there to shove in things along the side. And you can use those pockets that just kind of stick on and use them, and they don't add as much bulk as like a leather pocket does. But I really do personally really enjoy the leather pockets because I just think they add nice structure. So that is choice number 1. Then the next set of choices is about your stitching and elastic colors. And of course, all of this is after you've already picked your leathers and your color of your leather. We'll go through those as well, but just in terms of once you've already decided that, the colors to cut or the things to customize, the next thing after your width of your spine, your pockets, you would pick your stitching color and your elastics color. So they allow you to customize that however you want it. So this one has white stitching, white elastics. Here, where's a good one? This one has cream stitching, navy elastics. This one is cream stitching, pink elastics. It doesn't have to match. You can get whatever you want. This one has sage stitching and navy elastics. You can do whatever combo you want as long as that combo is a color that they offer. I personally like to have, sometimes I like a little bit of contrast. It really depends on the look I'm going for. Here's an example of how stitching can affect what it looks like. So this is the same exact leather, but as you can see, this one has black stitching. I got this in a mystery sale, so I didn't know what I was picking out. So this one has black stitching, and then this one has sage stitching. So I think they look really different, a very different look to the two, even though they're the exact same leather color. So just an example of some differences. And then elastics, stitching cannot be changed on your Foxyfix. Elastics can. So you can always restring your elastics. They have kits you can buy for like $5 with new colors of elastic, and you can restring your elastics if you want to change them out seasonally or pick something totally different. So the other final thing you can customize when you're going to make your Foxyfix is the spine and the front cover embossing. So I actually only have one planner with front cover embossing, and I only got that because it has, I got this on the buy sell trade. I personally do not really tend to like the front cover embossing. I don't know why. You know, it does cost extra, so maybe that's part of it, but also I just personally, like, I never really have anything that I want to write on there long enough. On the front cover, you can put full words. You can put up to 15 characters there in a couple of different fonts. And then on the spine, you can put either a single shape or you can put a monogram of, or a word of up to 3 letters. So some people are putting their initials, but some people are getting really creative with the 3 letters and do things like eat for like a cooking notebook, or gym if it's like an exercise notebook, anything like that. I think it can be really cool on the spine. But on the front cover, like I said, you can either get a shape or up to 15 letters, but I personally have mostly stuck to just spine embossing. As you can see, my absolute favorite is the heart. I always get the heart that is in the other shapes section. Other shapes refers to the category, and then it's number 505. There is a different heart that is under the playing cards, so like a deck of cards, and it's a little bit differently shaped. I really like this heart shape a lot better. As you can see, I'm quite partial to the heart with some foiling on it. This is gold foil, that is rose gold foil. This one I believe is a pink or purple foil, and here is a heart with no foil. So most leathers you can get foil on. On Rowena, you are not allowed to get any foil because it will rub off, so you can only get what is called the blind embossing, so it has no foil on it. The blind looks really gorgeous on Rowena though. The only one I think I have that does not have a heart on it is my work notebook. I just didn't want to get a heart for work, so instead I got this gorgeous fancy capital H, which I just think is so fun, and is just gold foil and looks really pretty. So I really like that for work. So that is it for the options that you can add when you are going to make your own couture notebook. With all those options, you can really get one that is like whatever style you want. It's so customizable, which is so cool, and I really love it. Now let's take a step back and talk about what these different leather and color names mean. So I have only 4 different types of leather. So the type of leather refers to like how the leather feels and how the leather is made. So there are specific dyeing processes. It comes from specific suppliers. I don't really know all the behind the scenes stuff. Obviously I don't work for Foxyfix, but it does definitely affect how the leather itself feels depending on the type of leather it is. So I'll go through the 4 types I have. Note that there are other types that are featured on the website. Go ahead and take a look at those. The leathers that I have are right in the middle of the floppiness. So there are leathers that are a lot floppier than the leathers I have. I don't like those. Then there are leathers that are a lot stiffer than the leathers I have. I don't like those either. I prefer my leathers to have a little bit of flop, a little bit of give, but not so much so that it's like hard to keep them together. So the leather that's floppier than anything I have is called moccasin, and that one's super soft. It's really nice, but it's really, really soft. And then there are some stiffer leathers that are like Voyager, Wanderlust, and I don't have those in my current collection because they're just a little bit too stiff for my preferences. So let me just show you some of the different leather types. So here are the 4 different leathers I have. So first up, I have a botanical leather. Botanical leather feels really nice. It is this is a botanical iris. I'll go through some of my whole collection later, but I'm just going to give you one example from each leather. I'm caught on my charm. This charm is from Peach Palm, in case you're wondering. So the botanical leather feels really nice. It has a little bit of a rougher texture on the inside, but it's still pretty smooth. It has a good amount of flop to it, but it's not crazy, crazy floppy. It has a finish that feels, I would describe it almost as like plasticky in a good way. Obviously it feels like leather and it is leather, but it does have like a little bit more of a shine or like a finished feel to it. It doesn't feel like nubby or like super earthy. The botanical leather I've seen does have a little bit more striations than some of the other finishes. I personally like that look because I think it looks more like a leather, but it's really your call. Botanical comes in a lot of fun colors. They released it this spring, so a lot of the colors are a little bit more springy. And I just have 2 colors from that line. So that's botanical. Then we have probably the most popular one, which is sugar. Sugar is the one, if you see people with like candy colored Foxyfixes, it's probably the sugar line. So all of the colors in the sugar leather line refer to kind of like sweets. So there's like cotton candy and grapefruit and all sorts of sweet flavors. This particular one is mochi. It's a very popular one. Sugar leather is a very floppy leather, is the most floppy of all my leathers. I like it for the colors, but as for the leather, it is not my favorite leather. It tends to look a little bit less finished around the edges to me. Like it just has a little bit more nubbiness and like it's soft, but it has like, it doesn't look as like professional to me as some of the other leathers. And also because it is floppy, I find it kind of hard to use on the go unless you have like a lot of pockets there. So with sugar leather, if I get a bigger size like this one, this is sugar grape soda, I do prefer it to have the horizontal pockets because they add a little bit more structure. But you can see here, it's a very floppy leather. So I like this one for the colors, but it is not my favorite feel. Sugar leathers, my understanding is because they are a little bit water resistant, they actually clean up very well. I haven't gotten too many marks or anything on my Foxyfixes, so I haven't really tried, but they are a little bit more durable. Even though the leather itself is pretty soft, it's actually, you can just quickly wipe it down with a cloth because they do, this is like a finish on them, so it has a little bit more, like you can just quickly wipe it down. And then onto my favorite leather, and that has to be the Boss Babe leather. I freaking love Boss Babe leather. It is my number one. I am obsessed with it. So Boss Babe is obviously refers to the type of the leather, and then all of the colors in this line are kind of a little bit more, it's a little bit more of a work friendly line. My personal, like the work notebook that I use at work for taking notes is a Boss Babe Cambridge. I freaking love this leather. I think it is gorgeous. This has a very professional feel to me. The edges look really nice. The leather itself just looks really professional. It doesn't look like, there's no nubbiness to it. It just looks really smooth and gorgeous, and it looks very kind of consistent through the leather. It's a little bit more sturdy than sugar leather. As you can see here, it doesn't flop nearly as much as that other one did, and it is just really, really easy to carry around with you. And just, I think this wears beautifully. Like the Boss Babe does, and when you first get it, it kind of puckers out a bit, but the more you use it, the more it kind of molds, and it looks really, really gorgeous. So that is my personal favorite leather, but the colors are not as fun on this one as they are on the sugar. So it's really just a matter of preference. And then finally, the most recent leather addition to my collection is this one, which is Rowena. Rowena is R-O-W-E-N-A, and it only comes in one color. Rowena is both the color and the leather, and it's just one color. It's a really unique piece of leather. It has like a really cool feel on the inside, and on the outside has like almost like a slick feeling to it. The thing with Rowena is that it's actually meant to get beat up. Like it scratches extremely easily, but that's kind of the point of it. So a lot of people like how like distressed and rustic Rowena looks. I am really excited to play around with it. I am not sure I'm gonna love it, but some people are like total Rowena devotees and like buy every size in Rowena because they're obsessed with it. But I think it's really cool. It's definitely thicker. It's definitely a more stiff leather than anything I have. These pockets might end up being a little too thick for how thick this leather is, but I am going to try this out, and so excited to try out that leather. So those are the only leathers that I have. I have felt Wanderlust. I used to own one, but I sold it, and Wanderlust is definitely too thick for my preference. It was just a really thick piece of leather, and I think once you have really thick pieces of leather, it's hard to add pockets to them, and I find the pockets very functional in addition to adding structure, so those thicker leathers are just not my speed. I might get a moccasin eventually, but right now they just look a little too floppy for me, since sugar tends to be a little bit floppy for me, and moccasin is even more floppy than sugar, so we'll see. But right now I am very happy with the way my collection is. So those are the different leathers. So now let's just go through some of the different sizes, since I know this is something that a lot of people don't quite understand. So let's go ahead and start with the teeniest, tiniest little Foxyfix, and that is a micro. Micros are the most little itty bitty Foxyfixes. I got this in a mystery sale, like I said. Mystery sales are something that Foxyfix does like every once in a while. Just follow their Facebook group if you want to learn more about it, but they are a chance to try out different sizes at a very cheap price, but you don't know what you're gonna pick. So I didn't pick out this design, but I freaking love it. It's such a little baby one. So that is the tiniest one. Let me show you in comparison. Oh, here we go. In comparison to something you might have seen before, here is a Kate Spade planner, and that is what a little micro looks like. It is so itty bitty. It is the tiniest little thing. I love it. It's like almost like wallet size. A lot of people do use these for wallets, and that's what I think I want to use mine for. But so that is the micro. A micro refers to a number 0 in Foxyfix size. So that's the confusing part about Foxyfix. All of their sizes are actually numbers, but they often correspond to standard paper size. So you'll hear people use like micro versus number 0, and I'll go through, as we go through, I'll tell you what everybody else, like what the other words are. But the confusing part is that sometimes they get referred to as the number, and sometimes they get called the, like the little word. So just something to be aware of, but I will try to use all the correct numbers. So next up is the number 1 size, and I only have one of these, and it is a passport size. So number 1 refers to passport size, and it's literally the size of a US passport. So I'm actually going to set this up as a little passport holder. I got this on the buy sell trade board. It was something, someone else had gotten this in the mystery sale. Cambridge is like my favorite leather. This is the Boss Babe Cambridge, and so I decided to pick it up to try out the size. I think it's gonna be too small for any sort of planning for me, but I think it'll be perfect for jotting down quick things as I travel and for actually keeping my passport in safely while I'm traveling. So here's the number 1. And here it is compared to a micro. The micro is a lot smaller than any other size, as you can see. So there you go. So that is the number 1. Next up is the pocket size, and the number 1, as well as the other odd number sizes, number 3, number 5, and number 7, are all a lot more square than the even numbers. The even numbers tend to be more rectangular. So 2, 4, 6 are all a lot more rectangular than the odd numbers. So you'll see that now. So here is the pocket size. Let me turn that around to the side so it's not in our way. So here is the pocket size. The mochi is the pocket. This is the passport. As you can see, this one is only a little bit taller than this, and they're actually about the same width. So pocket size is the number 2 size. Pocket size is actually, I think, the most popular size right now, at least for shops that are like making sticker kits, making inserts for it. All of the like kits that like Two Little Bees is making, for example, are made for the pocket planner. I like the pocket planner. I'm currently testing whether or not like I love it. I think I personally prefer the size up from it, but I'll show you that in a second. But as you can see, the passport is actually just a little bit shorter, so you could always cut down anything. If you had a number 1, you could just cut down really. The width actually would work just fine. They're about the same width, but it's the height there that makes the number 2 a little bit more rectangular that you kind of are missing with the passport. But you could always just trim down any inserts if you wanted to use a number 1 instead, if you liked that more square form factor. So that's a number 2. Next up is a number 3. Number 3 is often called an A6 size. So A6 is a standard paper size. And like I said before, a number 3, much like a number 1, is a very square shape. So here you can see the number 2 and the number 3. I actually really love the number 3. It's still a very portable size, but it is a little bit wider than the pocket, which makes like planning in the daily inserts so much easier. I just really like the width. It makes it a lot easier to carry stickers around with you because a lot of the stickers are almost the same width as the pocket, so it's hard to make folders that work. But I love the A6. I think that's my current favorite size. But we'll see. So here you can see a number 2 on top of a number 3. So the light colored one is the number 3, the pink one is the number 2. And the number 3 is a lot wider. You're gaining almost half an inch of space on the width there, which means your inserts can be that much wider. And it's just a little bit taller, as you can see, just probably like a 1/4 of an inch taller. So it's a lot more of a square shape than the number 2, but you also do get a lot in the width. So I really like the number 3 size. The nice thing also about the number 3 is any inserts, sticker inserts that can fit in the number 2 also fit in the number 3. So like a Two Little Bees Traveler's Notebook Kit does not look stupid in a number 3 when you have it in there. Like it looks a little bit smaller than everything else, but not so much smaller that it looks like weird. So you can always use your number 2 stuff in a number 3. I've seen people kind of try to do the reverse. I don't think it looks good, but you can try to do the reverse. But I think all the sticker kits that fit a pocket or number 2 size also fit a number 3 or A6 size. So I personally really like the A6. So then moving along, let's go into the number 4 size. So number 4 is a personal size. Personal is another very popular one. I think personal is a really good one. If you are coming from a ring bound planner, you're probably coming from a personal ring bound planner, and the inserts themselves are actually the same size. The only difference is there's not room to like punch holes, you know? So like the inserts obviously are connected on both sides, but there's just no room to punch holes. But the actual room for planning is about the same. So if you're used to a number, like if you're used to a personal size ring bound, a number 4 might be where you want to start with Foxyfix. So number 4 is also called personal. As you can see, here's how it compares to the 2 and the 4, or the 2 and the 3. Let me show you a 2 on top of a 4. So as you can see, a lot taller and a little bit wider there. So I actually really do like the number 4 too. I like the number 4 because I just think it looks really nice. Like it looks like, I don't know, and it feels really good in my hand, whereas the number 3 sometimes feels a little wide. But the number 3 is nice for sticking into bags because it's a little bit shorter. But here is the number 3 and the number 4. So the number 3 is actually just a smidge wider than the number 4. Let me show you the opposite way. Sorry you guys were a little zoomed in there, but so this is the number 4 on top of the number 3. I'm trying to line them up pretty perfectly. So you can see here the number 3 is just a smidge wider, but then the number 4 is quite a bit taller than the number 3. So you're getting a lot of space on top there. So I think it really just depends on the form factor. Number 4 is that tall, narrow form factor. Number 3 has that more square width for writing things. I think the width makes it a little bit easier to write things, but it's just totally your preference. I personally like the visual of the tall thin. It just looks more like a planner to me and it looks prettier, but for the functionality, I think I prefer the width of a more square planner. So that is the number 4 size. Next up is the number 5, which I feel like is currently the hot size in the Foxy community. And the number 5 is also called the B6, B as in boy, number 6 size. Again, that refers to a standard paper size. I don't know the actual measurements, but the B6 right now is gaining a huge amount of popularity because it's actually, you can get inserts for it that look very much like A5, or they basically are the same width as Erin Condren, so they'll be the same width, the columns will be, and they're like 3 columns wide. So ones that are almost kind of like an Erin Condren replica, a little bit more smushed, but people can plan in a B6 using stickers their normal way, which I think appeals to a lot of people. So the B6 or the number 5 size is very popular right now. I am currently testing it, like I mentioned with the Rowena. For right now, I think the number 5 is a little big for my lifestyle because I travel using Metro every day for work. I commute using Metro, so I have to carry everything in my bag. And when you fill up a number 5, it's a pretty freaking heavy planner. Like it's a big planner, and everything just kind of adds extra weight because it's so big. So for me, it's not my favorite for right now, but I am planning on not selling my number 5s because I could definitely see liking these. If I go back to a job where I'm driving, I could see loving this for kind of like an out of the house Erin Condren, or I could even see maybe moving to, depending on who releases certain inserts and their form factor, I could almost see moving to a number 5 to replace my Erin Condren. So I'm hanging on to them for now because I do think it's a gorgeous form factor and just like a really nice size for truly like weekly planning as opposed to daily planning. But for how I'm using my Foxy Fixes right now as an everyday carry, the number 5 size is not great for me. So let's go into the size here. As you can see, it's a lot wider than the number 4, like quite a bit wider than the number 4. It's only a tad taller. Let me remove this so you guys can see a little bit better. It's only a tad taller. I hope that's showing up on camera. So it's only, the smidge is taller, but it's a lot wider. Again, more of a square form factor. And here it is compared to a number 3, quite a bit bigger, as you can see on both sides. So quite a bit taller, quite a bit wider. So still that same square shape, but a lot bigger than the number 3. So that is a number 5. Unfortunately, the next size, number 6, which is also known as a standard size, I do not have. The size does not appeal to me. It's like a bigger version of a number 4. And it's just, for me, it's too big and I wouldn't want to use that. it's like too big while also being very narrow. So it's just not a size that I plan to use, and I don't think it'd be very functional for me, so I don't own one. But you can probably find some comparisons of that on Facebook, but it is called a number 6 or standard size. So if you see standard size inserts, that is a number 6 size. The next size and the next and final size that I own is the number 7. And number 7 is a size that fits a lot of notebooks that you'll find at Target. So like a moleskin notebook, which is what I used to use for taking notes at work, fits in a number 7. May Designs, their large inserts fit in a number 7. I forgot to mention May Designs number 5 fit in, or May Designs medium size fit in a number 5, and May Designs small size fit in a number 3. But the May Designs large size notebooks fit in a number 7. I love number 7s for like actual note taking. Like they're too busy for me to carry around in my planner or in my purse every day. But for like, I leave this one normally at work. I just brought it home to film this video, but I normally leave this one at work, and it's actually the one I use just for simple note taking at work. I'm not going to show you, but like I just use simple inserts in here and take notes in it at work, and I love this. I think it looks really, really professional. It's the perfect size because it's not so bulky to carry around between meetings, but I have a lot of room to write my pen. And then I do have a second one that I am planning on setting up as like an at-home kind of inspiration journal. Again, going with the number 7 size because I knew that it gives my hand a lot of room to write and it's not cramped at all. It's not a portable size in my opinion. You know, I know some people definitely carry them around every day, but for me it's too heavy and too bulky to carry in my purse to work. But for writing and leaving in one location, I think this is a gorgeous size. So let me show you compared to the number 5. So the number 5 is actually almost the same width. The number 7 has just a little bit of width on it, but it has a lot of height. So the number 7 is not as square as the other odd sizes, but it does, so it makes it like a really nice size for writing in that like is a fairly easy to find size to buy notebooks for. The number 7 size is also known as a wide size or a cahier size. Those are two terms that you'll hear. I personally just tend to call it like a number 7, but yeah, you'll hear it called wide or cahier. Again, just kind of standard paper sizes. So, but any moleskin notebook, a lot of notebooks you would find at like Target or Michael's would fit in a number 7, which makes them a pretty easy one. Like if you're just looking for one for note taking, I think a number 7 is a good way to start. So that is it for the sizes I have. The other two sizes are 8 and 9. 8 is an A5 size. So if you are using A5 ring bound, the corollary for the Foxyfix is a number 8, and it's not that much bigger than a number 7. I think it's just a little bit, I want to say it's just a little bit taller, but it's not that much bigger than a number 7. So, you know, a number 8, like if you're trying to decide between the two of them, it really just depends on what you're trying to use it for. A number 9 is Mondo. I don't know anyone personally with a number 9 or follow anybody on Instagram with a number 9. A number 9 is huge. I could see using it like if you really wanted to have a big one for sketchbooks maybe, or like you really needed a ton of room, but a number 9 is really, really big. So I don't have any plans to get a number 9 in my future, but they are really, really big if you ever see a picture of it. So that is everything on the sizes. Now let's go ahead and go through my actual collection here. Before we get started on my Foxyfix collection, I will say what I say before any of my collection videos. Planning and stickers are like my expensive hobby of choice. That is just what I decide to spend my money on. I am fortunate enough to have a job that lets me, pay all my bills, save for retirement, buy all the things I need, give to causes I care about, and still spend money on really dumb shit. So I totally know that this might not be how other people would spend their money. I hope you respect my right to do so. And I also will just say that like a lot of people are going to be like, Holly, why the hell do you have so many Foxyfixes? For me, these are like my purses or shoes. I am not a purse girl, and I am definitely not a shoe girl. Like all my shoes come from like DSW or Target. Like I have never been one of those girls that like wants to change their bag to match with their, like with their outfit. Like I have like 3 bags that I rotate through seasonally, and that's it. But for me, changing my Foxyfixes out is so much fun, and I love just changing them out to match the season or the mood I'm in or the designs that I want to do on the inside. So that's why I do own a lot of like what I would consider my everyday carry size. So I have everything from like 2 to number 5 in a lot of different colors, because I do like to just change them out. I'm not using all of these at once, obviously. I just change them out seasonally and however I'm feeling, and for me that is something that's fun to do and a hobby that I enjoy doing. So with that caveat being said, let's go into the collection. So first up is the only micro I had, like I mentioned earlier in the video, but in case you didn't see that part, I did purchase this in a mystery sale, so I did not pick out the color or stitching or elastics. I only chose the size, but I really love this matcha. This is a sugar, which is the type of leather. Matcha is the color. It refers to this gorgeous deep green color. I love this color. I think this is stunning. My husband threatened to steal this from me because he actually likes it a lot too, and it is just a little baby micro. I kind of want to set this up as a little mini wallet, TBD on that, but I just think this is so adorable, and I just really wanted to try out the micro size. I can't imagine using this for anything besides a wallet. Like I would never, like my hand is too giant to write in it. Like I could never use it as anything like to actually planning in, but some people do set these up as wallets, and that is kind of my goal for this. So that is the only micro I own. And then the only number 1 or passport size I own is this gorgeous Cambridge one that I got on the buy sell trade boards. If you are interested in buying Foxy Fixes but you can't like afford a new one, or you just don't want to wait for shipping, I would suggest trying out Foxy or Facebook group buy sell trade boards. Some of the most popular ones are like All Traveler Notebook buy sell trade or Foxyfix buy sell trade. That is a great way to buy your Foxy Fixes. I personally have bought a couple and have had great success. Always use PayPal and make sure that it's a PayPal secured transaction, but other than that, I think people are pretty good in them. So this is a Boss Babe Cambridge, which is this light brown color notebook, and it has white stitching and white elastics. Somebody got this in the mystery sale, so I was able to pick it up for a pretty steep discount, which is really cool. And I picked this up again to just try out the number 1 size. I hadn't tried it out yet. I think it'll be really cool for traveling to actually keep your passport in, but I'm not sure this one will be staying in my collection for the long haul, because I do want to get a number 3 Cambridge because it's my favorite leather and my favorite combo. So I might end up destashing this and instead getting a single notebook to use for carrying my passport when I travel. So because this is a little thick for a passport notebook, so I might just get a single and use that as a passport notebook when I travel. But for right now, I have this number 1. And then we get on to the pocket size. And for the pocket size, I actually used to have a couple more, but I fairly recently destashed them because pocket is not my favorite. So I only kept 2 in my collection in the pocket size, just because I really loved these colors, and I do sometimes like the pocket because it's so small and so easy to carry around. But for me, I'm tending to prefer the number 3. So I might eventually replace these, get these exact same combos with the number 3, but right now I have them in the number 2. So this is a Botanical Iris. It is this gorgeous deep purple. It's a very warm colored purple color. I love it. I have it with cream elastics and cream elastics and cream stitching. On the spine, I got this gorgeous rose gold heart on there, and I just freaking love that. I think it looks so pretty with this leather color. This one on the inside does have pockets. I just got the basic secretarial pocket with the card pocket on that side, and then the same in the back but with a loop. This is the one I'm currently planning in every week. So I will have a flip through of that up sometime soon on my channel. I just want to make a few changes to it, but I am really loving the Botanical Leather. It's really smooth and just feels really nice in my hand. And then the number 2 is just, it is a perfect size for your purse, but for me it just is a little bit hard to write in sometimes, so it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. So that is my first pocket size. And then the second one I have is the classic Sugar Mochi. This is one of the first Foxy Fixes I got, and here I have cream stitching, cream elastics, and a gold colored heart on the spine. So just a note. But so this one, same setup on the inside pockets because I just find that more functional. So I have secretarial with a card pocket, and then on the back I have a pen loop. So this is the Mochi one. I love this one. I definitely want to get this set up with a really pretty interior. This is a really gorgeous neutral color. If you're looking for a good place to start, Sugar Mochi might be a good one. So those are my 2 pocket size planners. Okay guys, so then on to my favorite size. I have here a number 3 Moonlit. The stitching is a light pink, which is probably really hard to tell, and the elastics are a dark brown. I have been wanting to change those out, but I just haven't had the chance yet, and I'm kind of scared to do so. On the spine, I just have a simple gold foil heart, and the insides here are the regular secretarial pocket like I've had on the other ones, and with the card pocket in the back. I do have a setup for this particular what's inside here on my channel already. I'll try to leave those linked up top or maybe at the end of the video. So that is probably one of my favorite ones. I loved like when I was in this, I used this for like a lot of June, and I really liked this. The Moonlit definitely does get a little bit marked up, so when I carry it around, I do keep it in a Foxyfix dust bag. All of your Foxyfixes that you order directly from them will come with a dust bag that looks like, hold on. The dust bag looks like this, and so I just keep it right in there when I carry them around, just to protect it a little bit, since this is such a light color and can get dinged up. So then I also have in the number 3 size, I fairly recently got this one. You guys know, if you've watched my channel before, that I am team purple all the way. So I had to pick up this color. This is orchid with purple stitching and mint elastics, and this is a botanical leather. So it has a similar feel to the botanical iris, but as you can see, it has a lot less striations. Like in the botanical iris, this kind of came with a lot of these striations. They're not just from use, but this does not have that. This is a compact fitting, not a wide, so it's a little bit more narrow on the spine there. I did get this, as you can see, with the secretarial and the pen loop. It was kind of before I decided I don't love pen loops anymore. And on the spine, again, I'm super boring in what I pick. I went for a heart. This time I did rose gold. I don't know if I love the rose gold on this. I might have wanted to do like a light purple or a light pink in retrospect, but oh well, kind of late for that now. So this one, I actually might use this as a Halloween Foxy. I have like an idea for a setup that has some like light purples in it, so I thought that could be really fun to set this up for that. So this one just arrived fairly recently, so that's why there's nothing in it. And then another one here, and the other number 3 that I have is this gorgeous sugar chocolate cherry. Sugar, of course, is the leather type. Chocolate cherry is the color. Wow. I have it in light pink stitching, and I was very torn on which stitching to get, but I went with light pink because I thought it brought out the kind of like reddish tones of this leather a little bit better. But then I did do cream for the elastics. I've seen some people with light pink elastics, and I don't quite love them as much because it just is too baby pink against this gorgeous deep color. I have the regular pockets. As you can see, the inside of chocolate cherry is amazing. I love the color on the inside. I'm like, I want to Foxyfix that color. It's just such a pretty wine color. And then same in the back here, and on the spine. Uh-oh, my charm just fell apart. I've been having a hard time keeping this together. But on the spine, of course, I have a heart, and I went with rose gold foil to kind of pick up a little bit more of those pink tones. So that is it for my number 3 notebooks. Now on to my number 4s. I actually have more number 4s than I do number 3s, even though I think ultimately I'm probably going to end up preferring the number 3, but the number 4 I thought was going to be my favorite, and I really liked it, so I ordered like a couple of different ones before they switched from the 4-string wide to the 6-strand wide. I just personally prefer the look on the spine, especially in the personal size. So you can see here, this is one of the new 6-strand wides. It has three things there, and I just didn't love the way it looked. So before they made the switch over, I did order a couple of personals that I had been wanting, so that's why I have so many, but I might eventually downsize those. But I do love the personal size. I really like this for just like I just really like the way it feels in my hand. It's very similar to a personal ring bound, but just like a lot more compact to carry in your purse, and it gives you like a lot of nice room for listing. Like the daily timed inserts in these I really like, so you know, I'm kind of, it's either 3 or 4 for me. It really depends on the season and what my preferences are. So anyway, this one is a Boss Babe Kate. So Boss Babe is the leather. I love Boss Babe leather. Again, just feels so nice. I just think it's like, it's just a perfect mix for me between like being professional but also still feeling like a nice handmade leather good. And I just find that it really holds up well in your bag, and I don't know, I just really love the Boss Babe. So this is Boss Babe Kate, which is a gorgeous navy color. I have it with cream stitching, light pink elastics. Here you can see what I mean about the light pink elastics being kind of baby pink. Let me just show you back on that chocolate cherry. So see, that could have been cute, but I don't know. I wasn't quite there with it, but maybe I'll switch them out eventually. But anyway, this one I was the only, I took this out earlier in the video here. This one is the only number 4 I have with the secretarial pocket. I got it like this, and as I was using it, I kind of realized I'd prefer the horizontal. So the future number 4s that I got were horizontal pockets. So, but this has the secretarial with the card pocket, and over here again, secretarial, card pocket, and pen loop. And then on the spine, I just did a blind embossed heart, no foiling. I wish I had gotten foil though in retrospect. So that is my Boss Babe Kate, which is probably my most used of my personal because I've had it the longest. And then I also fairly recently got this sugar cookie, which sugar is the type of leather, cookie is the color. Cookie is this gorgeous like light brownie taupe color. I know a lot of people really love this color. I got it with cream stitching and cream elastics. As you can see, the color of elastics for your Foxy Fixes can really vary. This is cream and this is cream. Because they get them from a supplier, they don't have a ton of control. Like, it's not like they're hand dyeing them. So it really depends on the batch the supplier puts out. I was actually really unhappy with the way this color came out, and I let Foxyfix know, and they handled it really well, and they actually gave me like a code to order a restrap kit plus shipping for free so that I could get a new set of elastics for these. I do have that. I'm thinking I'm either gonna do mint or light purple. I'm not sure yet, but I just have not worked up the courage to do it, but I do plan to restrap this because I don't like how yellow that elastic is. I hope it's showing up on camera. This is the old cream, and then this is the newer cream. So was not as much of a fan of the newer cream. And so this one, I do have the horizontal pockets here. As you can see, I haven't really set up this planner. I thought I would really like Cookie, and I do. Like, I thought I would love it, and I like it, but I don't love it. I don't know. It's just, it's hard to think about because it's like that mid-tone color. I'm not quite sure what color like setup to do inside of it. I just haven't, nothing has struck me for it yet. So I haven't put anything in here yet, but we have the horizontal pockets, the secretarial, and the on the spine we have a rose gold foiled heart. So pretty standard in terms of the setups I like. And as you can see in there, I often use the Foxy Fixes that I'm not currently in use to store old inserts. I'll probably eventually throw those inserts away, but just to keep them stuffed, I actually kind of like the way it looks when they're a little bit stuffed on the shelf, and just to hold on to the inserts in case I need to reference anything for, you know, the next 6 months or so. So that is my sugar cookie. And then in the personal, I also have this Boss Babe Scarlet, totally unused as of right now, but I freaking love this and might be switching it to either for fall or for Christmas. I haven't decided. So the one I have, of course, horizontal pockets, secretarial. I did not get a card pocket for this one just because I don't know why. I just didn't feel like adding it, I guess. But I did get a pen loop. I have it with cream stitching and navy elastics, which I think is such a classic look. Again, this Boss Babe leather is just like totally my favorite. It's just so classic feeling and like, I don't know, just really chic. Like if you're at all into like the preppy vibe, I think the Boss Babe is like the perfect, like the Boss Babe Cambridge or Scarlet, any of that I think is the perfect Foxy for you. So again, this is a 4-strand wide. This is one of the ones I kind of like panicked ordered before they switched to 6 strands. And I got it with a gold foil heart on the spine, nothing on the front. And that is the Boss Babe Scarlet. And then finally for my personals, I also have a Boss Babe Moonlit. As I said before, Moonlit is one of my favorite colors. You can see here there has been a bit of marking on the spine from where I was keeping that bow charm, which kind of bummed me out, but I don't know. I haven't tried to clean it off yet, so maybe it would clean up fine. For this Moonlit, I went with a cream stitching and light pink elastics. I don't know if you guys can see the difference on camera at all between the light pink and the cream stitching. Honestly, it's really subtle. I kind of like the light pink a little bit better because it just, I don't know, pops a little bit more, but they're both really subtle. And then on On the inside here, I got this in the same order as the Scarlet because I was like super, like I said, like panic ordering. Like, I'm not even kidding. I got this with the horizontal pockets and the secretarial, and this one I got a card pocket in. And on the spine, since the other moonlit I had a gold foil heart, I decided to get a rose gold foil one, and just to play up the pink vibe a little bit more with the pink elastics. And so that is it for the number 4 or personal size that I have. Next up, I do have 2 number 5 sizes. Like I mentioned earlier, not quite sure where I'm at with this size. I think I've recently uploaded a plan with me on my channel that for trying out some different inserts. They didn't quite work for me, but now like I'm seeing that there are some new styles, and like I want to try ones from other shops too, so we'll see. So anyway, this particular Foxy I got on the buy sell trade boards, which are on Facebook. It is a sugar grape soda, which I love. It's a really deep purple color. Like, I think in some photos it kind of looks black, but when you have light on it, it definitely looks like a true deep bluish black purple. It's really gorgeous. And it has light purple stitching, light purple elastics. It has a blind embossed heart on the spine, and I believe this is a light purple foiled heart. Since I didn't order it, I don't quite know, but I think that's a light purple foiled heart on the front. And then for the pockets, like I showed earlier, this has the horizontal pockets, really pretty color on the inside. I love the way that looks. And as you can see, the number 5 horizontal, you do get the 3 different slots. They're actually perfect for the business card size, which is really nice. And then I have this in the back with no card pocket there, just the pen loop. So that is my gorgeous grape soda, Purple Love, of course. I love this one. It's really, really pretty. And then the other number 5 that I fairly recently got, because I thought I was gonna like be a number 5 addict. I don't know, I was like becoming obsessed with like number 5 setup videos on YouTube, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna love number 5. I need to have one other for fall. And then I got it, and I had like tried out those inserts, and I was like, oh, I don't even know if I like it that much, but I do want to hold on to my number 5s for now, at least until I test out a few more inserts. And so this one is the gorgeous Rowena. It's such a pretty color. The stitching I have is wheat stitching, which looks really, really nice with Rowena. It's like a nice kind of tan color. And then I got it with navy elastics. And then on the inside, I have the horizontal card pockets. I got this one in compact, so it only has 4 strands. I think from now on, like I like the wide size, but you can stuff a compact pretty good. So I think I'm only gonna be getting compacts just because like I said, I don't love the way that 6-strand looks on the spine for some reason. It's just not as appealing to me. And then here I did get the secretarial, the card pocket, and this in the back. I will say the horizontal pockets in the Rowena feel pretty stiff. Like I'll have to see how it kind of molds as I use it a little bit more, but right now it feels like, oh gosh, that's a lot of leather, you know, it might be a little bit overkill. And yeah, so that is the Rowena. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous, unique leather. Definitely more of a like natural, or, you know, what's the word? Not earthy, but yeah, I guess maybe natural vibe than the other like dyed leathers. It definitely looks more like a true leather if that's the look you're going for. So those are my number 5s. And then for my number 7s, I have probably my favorite Foxyfix of all is my Boss Babe Cambridge number 7. Like I mentioned earlier, this is the notebook that I keep at work for taking notes. So I just literally keep inserts in it and just use it to take notes at work. It works out beautifully. I think that it looks really, really professional, but still like, you know, lets me have like a fun Foxyfix at work. So I really, really like that. The number 7 size is perfect for note taking in, and is just like, gives me room, but doesn't like, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm carrying, you know, a textbook from meeting to meeting. Like it's the perfect size. I have this with cream stitching, navy elastics, gold foil fancy H on the spine. Love that. I think that looks really nice for work. My only regret is that I did not get it with the horizontal card pockets. In retrospect, a horizontal card pockets would have been perfect for work planner because I could have put people's business cards and stuff in there, but I didn't, and I don't think that this would resell very well. I thought about trying to resell it and then ordering, you know, the exact one I want, but since it has the H on it, it doesn't, that probably won't resell as well as just like a basic heart would. So that's like something to keep in mind when you are picking out your own personalization. But yeah, so this just has the card pocket there, no card pocket here, just a pen loop, and the secretarial. So I love this one. I think the leather feels so nice. It's held up, like I carry this this everywhere, and you can see a few little marks, but I don't mind them at all, and it's held up really well at the office. So that is the Boss Babe Cambridge, and then the final Foxy Fix I have to share is my Sugar Matcha. And again, a fairly recent addition that I already have like a plan for, like I mentioned, doing some sort of inspiration journal. And this one I got what is called Sage Stitching. It's actually a very light green, but you can't really tell how green it is because it's on the matcha. So I just think it looks like a more neutral cream, like, and it doesn't quite have that contrast that I think a cream stitching would, or a white stitching. So I really, really love how the sage looked. Somebody had it on Facebook and I was like very inspired. And then I have the navy elastics in here. I did get this in compact, so it only has 4 strands, even though it's fairly new. And here I have the card pockets, the horizontal card pockets in this one. I think for the number 7 size, because it is so big, I do really like the horizontal card pockets. And so, yeah, so I think I would get that in any future number 7s. Not that I have a plan to get any more number 7s, but in case I do. And then back here I do have the card pocket, the secretarial pocket, and the pen loop. And on the spine I got a gold foil heart. I really regret not getting a rose gold heart. Like, I think a rose gold would have gone so much better with the setup I have in mind, but oh well, you know, everybody makes mistakes. I think the gold foil still looks really nice. So that is pretty much it for this Foxy Fix video. I hope you guys did enjoy. As a person that loves Foxy Fixes, I have personally found their Facebook group to be extremely helpful. So if you have questions that I haven't been able to answer here, I am obviously I don't work for Foxy. This is not sponsored by them. They don't know I exist. And so go ask the people that actually work for them if you have any official questions. But I just wanted to put this together because I have been getting a lot of questions on my Instagram posts and whatever, and my videos, in terms of like what I'm using and what I own and all of that, and wanting to see comparisons. So I hope it was helpful from that perspective. If you are interested in making your first purchase from Foxy Fix, I do have a referral link down below that if you sign up for their website, it will give you 10% off, which for these notebooks actually turns out to be a little bit of money, which is nice. But obviously don't feel obligated to use that. You can just go to the Foxy Fix site and purchase yourself. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. If I significantly change my collection, I will definitely do an update video in a few months. But for right now, I am really happy with where it's at. Just have 1 or 2 more purchases in mind, but then I'm going to be good and be set with where I am at with my Foxy Fixes. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to see me do more Foxy Fix and Traveler Notebook related videos. I'm getting a lot more into them in addition to my Erin Condren, of course. And that is all for now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.